You know, I got a copy of the memorandum today that was issued back on December 22nd, 2009, not 2010, over a year ago. That basically said that this particular person was no longer employed with the county. It actually received some phone calls with respect to a quarry operation. Do you know if this was your company calling at that time, or your client calling at that time with respect to this particular issue?
David, I have absolutely no idea. You were recently hired, as you said. I was hired as this property was acquired. I have no idea who made that inquiry, whenever it was in the night.
Okay. I realize you are like me. You're a hired person to represent your client, and obviously I know you will. I know Mr. Dean is kind of considered an expert in zoning matters. But I guess when I inadvertently went to the office down there this morning to find out that actually get a copy of the zoning resolution to see what this property is zoned for, what uses can be made of it. Is there a necessity for going before the Board of Zoning Appeals? And I read the zoning classification. It seemed to be totally inappropriate for this type of operation that you have described as company here. And that's why I was asking these questions, that the county tell you this was a proper process to be followed. And I assume they did, because you're following that advice and going forward. Is that correct?
I'm following the process directed by the planning office. It's our opinion that it is appropriate for this following the representation. The rest of it may be a legal argument. They disagree.
I understand totally about the question about that. But you got to understand, these people here have, in many cases, their life savings invested in property. And from the facts here, it appears that they have been kind of ambushed. This property is being bought in a name that normally would have no association with the outcome. It's been done very quickly from the time of the closing. Normally, companies don't buy property without having contingencies for property. This was done in this fashion. It looks very unusual on this face, but I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying when you first find out about this, you want to try to find out how did we get to this point. So these people are rightfully concerned. It's very important that they stay unified and appear before this board to let them know their concerns. I remember asking you a question a long time ago, and I would ask you back, and this same question had nothing to do with this issue. Because you've been in this business for a long time ago, and I remember asking you one time, do you think it's appropriate to contact the individual members of boards of zoning appeals or planning commission members to advocate on behalf of your client? My recollection is you just thought that was entirely appropriate in doing that because you have a responsibility. Have you or any representative of your firm or Mr. Dean or anyone here contacted individually before this day any member of the Board of Zoning Appeals or any member of the Planning Commission of Summit County?
My knowledge, there was no contact made to any member of the Planning Commission of the county. When I filed the application, the lady in the county executive office told me that there was a Mr. McKee who was the head of the Board of Zoning Appeals. I should call him with respect to scheduling the meeting. And there was a gentleman by the name of Bruce Rainey, who was the vice chairman, who often decided what rules there were about meetings. I tried to get Mr. McKee for about 10 days. I called Lisa Oreo back in the offices, and she said, you'll never get it during the days of farm. All night after 6 o'clock at night. So I didn't want to call after 6 o'clock at night. 2 days later it rained. So I called him, picked up the phone, he said, you'll never get it during the day on the farm. I told him what our application was. He said, I've lived out here many years. I don't know many of the people anymore. I was asking him to schedule this meeting. Mr. McKee said to me, I really don't want to settle. I mentioned to him about Mr. Rainey and the rules, and the comment was, Mr. Rainey is the vice chairman, may have something to do with that. I called Mr. Rainey. I told Mr. Rainey what I'm telling you. Mr. Rainey directed me to contact Mr. Holt's office again. I already spoken to him once.
You already spoken to who once?
What? Already spoken to the county executive officer once. And that was Mr. Holt. I don't know, I've never met him. And I gave him the information we had filed, and I told him exactly what I had done about financial information. He thanked me for the heads up. I sent him a letter, which is a public record, spelling out the same things that are on this letter. I talked to Mr. Rainey about where to have a meeting. He said, contact Mr. Holt. As I told Mr. McKee said, contact Mr. Holt. There's a lady in his office who's always extremely pleasant. She was here earlier tonight. She's the one that set up the meeting tonight, make sure you knew how to do the PowerPoint on the program. That's what's taking place. So frankly, David, I'm not going to get into a legal debate about this.
No, I'm just trying to find out if there's any contact made.
I told you what took place. We'll answer any other questions, but I'm not going to get into a legal issue. Rest of the bill, or zoning bill.
Thank you.
Thank you. We very much appreciate you coming in this lion's den here and affording us this venue to vent our wrath, so to speak. And I have just one final question and a few comments, very few. It was stated, and I think by you, that the owners or Western Farm or whoever made an inquiry as to the historical significance of our community. And it's more than just a bait house, and it's more than just one. It's a whole community of historic places. And my question is, did anybody contact the Bledsoe Historical Association?
Not to my knowledge.
Did anybody contact the State Historical Association?
Not to my knowledge.
Did anybody contact Walter Durham, who's written 4 or 5 books about the area? Did anybody contact the Castalian Springs Community Club?
Not to my knowledge.
So, where's the information come from that said you said it was a historical site that nobody contacted anybody? How do you justify the two?
Let me answer that this way. When you look at a piece of property, I was checking the historical sites, you look at what are the state recognized sites. You know what those are, we know what they are, we were aware of every one of them before we bought the property.
Oh, just 2.
Didn't say these 3 mentioned.
There's a lot more than that. This is
About state
yeah,
recognized.
well, that county recognized. It's a community. It's a historic community, and it's not just Glenwood. It's not just the Bait House. And we have relatives here from the descendants of the Bates that are here tonight. And this last summation, we are a community. We fought the Indians and won. Thomas Spencer lived in a hollow sycamore tree one entire winter between where you want to build a rock quarry. He spent that whole, they're tough folks out there. Parker's cabin, he married the Bledsoe widow. They raised 14 children in a cabin. It's part of our historical area. We have an Irish cabin there. It's all it came from Ireland. It's a cabin was moved there, and his descendants still live in this community. It was the only one, the first community served in this part of the country by the Catholic Church was served in that cabin. It's a very historic community. And of course, General Bates' house, and we're proud of our community. We're proud of the land, and I want you to take this message back to Mr. Hoover. We'll take this fight. We'll fight. We'll fight. We'll go night and today. We're united. We're not going to give up. You've stepped on a hornet's nest here.
Amen.